Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zack. And today I am driving a 2007 Lotus Exige S. Behind me is a supercharged 1.8 liter inline 4, and down below is a 6-speed manual transmission. Now, if you can't tell by the look on my face or inflection in my voice, I am so excited to be driving this car. I have oogled over the Lotus Exige since I was a wee lad when this car came out. I had a remote control version. It was my go-to in all the video games that it was in, and now I'm driving one, which is kind of a pinch me moment, and I'm excited to share that moment with you today. But if you would like to share your exciting or nonchalant vehicle with me, head on over to my website, zackpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form, takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. But let's get back to that 1.8 liter supercharged inline 4 behind me. Well, it is actually a Toyota engine. It's a 2ZZ, and it makes 218 horsepower. That's what made the Exige S so special. The regular Exige just got the regular 1.8 liter. This knocks it up to 218. The only word for it is just intoxicating. Oh my goodness, grape juice! It sounds so good, and it's so, it's engaging all of my senses. I smell it before I hear it. Yes, yes, yes. I'm tearing up a little bit. And this isn't for the video. What are we doing? Oh my God. Now, like I said, paired to it is a 6-speed manual transmission. Shifter feels amazing. I mean, like truly amazing. Clicks right into gear. Clutch is nice, light, and forgiving. It drives, at least with all the touch points, like a Toyota. And that is fantastic, but it's not a Toyota. It's something so different than a Toyota, and it's beautiful. Driving this car is very intimidating because getting into it is very scary and hard to do, and you're driving something exotic, but once you get it going, it's actually really easy. And wickedly fun. Last but not least, of course, the Lotus Exige S is rear-wheel drive. So how does it feel to drive the Lotus Exige? Well, I imagine this is how antibiotics feel when they enter your bloodstream. It is, the brutal noises that you get in here, the driving feel, the raw inputs, there just quite frankly isn't anything like it. The shifter, amazing, exactly how I want it. The throttle is nice, twitchy, and responsive, but twitchy in the best way possible. Now, visibility is its only downside when it comes to the driving experience. Front is okay, sides less so, and the rear doesn't exist. But I don't care. I'm in a Lotus Exige. Bite me. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have 2 gauges. Off to the left is my tachometer, which really feels like a motorcycle gauge because it just does 1, 2, 3, and then really focuses all the way up to that about 8,500 RPM red line. Off to the right, I do have my speedometer. I get some little digital readings down at the bottom, but who gives a rip? The steering wheel doesn't have anything on it. It does have an airbag per the United States requirement, but that's it. Off to the left, I do have a climate control vent, headlight switches, and my engine start button. So in order to start the Lotus Exige, you have to press this big button on the remote, then turn the key, then hit the start button. Kind of strange, but a lot of exotics do this, and the Exige follows suit. On the door, I do have power windows, surprisingly enough, and then I have the entire set for Dances with Wolves right here. It is a giant, and I mean giant, sill that you have to get in, and that's what makes getting into the Lotus Exige so flippin' difficult. Moving into the center, I do have 2 more climate control vents. This is the factory Lotus radio. I assume they got it from whatever local Stop and Shop was in their area at the time. It looks pretty cheap, but it's here. And then I have the climate controls. Temperature off to the left with the AC button, fan speed in the middle, where to send it off to the right. I do kind of get a glove box. It's just a shelf. And then we move up to the center console, the shifter, that metallic ball that I have fallen in love with in the Lotus Evora that I filmed, was even here earlier in the Exige, which I love. And I do get a little hazard switch here too. And then the seats are, well, one piece of cardboard short of bolting you into the chassis. They're not super comfortable. They're also not the worst I've ever felt ever, but they're thin. And you're gonna feel the potholes. You're gonna feel the cracks in the road. You're gonna feel every autumn fallen leaf when you drive over it with these seats. And that's to be expected. However, throughout this entire interior, there wasn't a single cup holder. And so the Lotus Exige S fails the big friggin' bottle test, but I don't give a crap. Now, we don't have back seats, but we do have a trunk. You can fit probably a bag of Doritos in there, but that might be a little too generous. This does not have very good cargo space. I mean, it's a small car as it is, so that's okay. Now, the front, where the hood would be in a traditional car, you can't actually remove that without removing bolts. That's where the radiator lives, so you would need a tool to remove that to get under there. But let's take a look at the Lotus Exige S. This is particularly finished in Krypton Green, which is one of only 13 in the United States to be in this color. Only 441 Lotus Exige S's were ever brought to the States. Only 441. And this is one of them, and it's in Krypton Green, which is one of 13. I also just love the look of the Lotus Exige. It's so iconic. I fell in love with it playing video games as a kid, and I am happy to report that it is not a meet your hero situation. I've met my hero now, and my hero has the most beautiful supercharger wine I've driven in the recent era. One thing I do want to note, that roof scoop as well is functional. So on non-supercharged cars, they did have a little bit of a scoop, which was kind of fun and, you know, quirky and sweet and cute. This is a fully functional roof scoop that does feed into the supercharger, which is, you know, mega cool. But with all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving a Lotus Exige S? Well, if you hear the word boring, stupid, or lame in this video, you have the full right to punch me in the throat. This car is not stupid, this car is not lame, and this car is the furthest thing from boring I can physically think of. It is a blast. I'm pulling out of a shopping mall right now. I'm having fun! Well, it's just the best. Now, the Lotus Exige S is just a touch over 2,000 pounds. And with 218 horsepower, you don't feel like it needs more power. With no power steering, it's hard to get into, it's hard to see out of. It creates this ambiance and feel that you are the best driver in the world. You are a connected piece of this machine flying through space and time. And that's what I want out of a performance car. That's what I want out of a fun car. That's what I just want. It's what I want. And that is what the Exige S delivers. I want to leave you with a simple quote. Someone at some point in time said that money can't buy you happiness. Well, it has now become very apparent to me that whoever said that had never driven a Lotus Exige S. This car made me giggle and laugh uncontrollably, as you saw for the last several minutes. I haven't enjoyed a vehicle this much in quite some time. And I don't quite know how other vehicles will measure up after this, because doggone is this fun. And so easy to drive, so easy. I mean, I'm either driving this or a Toyota Camry. If I could close my eyes, which I am not while driving, if I were to close my eyes and just feel the clutch pedal and shifter, I think I was in a Honda Civic Si. But I am not. And that Krypton green reminds me every second of this drive. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Dan for letting me take out his Exige S. Dan is not only super generous, but super knowledgeable, super friendly, and he said, hey man, take it, have fun with it, do what you need to do. And that just means the world to me that he trusts me with this kind of car, this amazing piece of artwork, this Sistine Chapel of an automobile. That's it. I don't have any more words left. I don't really have much air left in my lungs. For a brief moment, I didn't have any tears left in my ducts. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.